are simply reaping off of what my generation played with. And I have to tell you, you wouldn't know this so much because you would have been a baby at the time, but you are speaking to one former open lady. We're talking like majorly open. I'm not the same woman sitting here on this set as what I was when you were a little tiny baby. I grew up going to church camp and singing an amazing song. I bet you know this song. It goes something like this. They will know we are Christians by our love. I built my early life on the concept that my job was to figure out this love and to live open-minded, open to other people and expressing that love. So I'll tell you, when I was a young woman, whenever my Bible didn't quite fit in with my science, I just changed my Bible to line up. When I went to anthropology class and they started talking about ancient people groups and I couldn't figure out how we'd get Adam and Eve into that, hey, I just said Adam and Eve was a really good myth that helped us to learn important things. Seems reasonable, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, kinda.
I don't know. Well, let me go a little further. You see, whenever I couldn't figure out how God could get a bunch of animals onto a boat, and I couldn't figure out how Jonah could literally be in the middle of a big fish, I just said they were important myths. They didn't really happen, just important myths. Now, when I got to be a little older and I was trying to figure out my role as a woman and I couldn't really figure out what a woman is supposed to do in this modern world, because this is, of course, the height of the feminist movement, we just changed my Bible to say that God is Father, Mother, Creator. Make sense to you? Do you see a problem here?
Yeah, I see where you're going, I think, Mom.
Yeah, I think you see. Can you see? I was building an open life. So I thought anybody who was in the old way was simple-minded and closed-minded, and everything about this love thing is we had to get open. Now, you know, you hear that phrase today. Well, you just got to be open to that. You just got to be open. You got to be open. And so here we were. We moved through into a period of my life where we started having kids. And I had already built this open thing, but I desperately wanted to raise you and your brothers and sisters right. And I remember how some of these things were beginning to unravel for me, because I began to see some clash between our culture and what I wanted in our home and what I knew to be the truth of God's Word. These were difficult days for me, because it's almost like everything I'd built my foundation on slowly began to unravel. But you know, these kinds of clashes, you know, where I would just hit into questions, not know what to do with all my open ideas and the fact that I love Jesus. I was not a bad lady, Luke, but I was a very confused person. And it began to get to a collision point, to the point where I didn't know what to do with my Bible anymore. Because you see, the end result of taking things apart is that after so long, there's nothing to build on. And at that moment, I had to ask myself something even deeper. What was I going to do with Jesus? Because if I couldn't trust His Word in the red, then what was this thing I was living for? You know, what open did I have left?